Okay, time now to move on to, I guess, kind of the focal point of today's show. This being our Man in Motion tour. We're dedicating the entire show to Rick Hansen and his world tour. I had a chance on Thursday to go out on the highway and visit with Rick. I rode my bike along beside him and did an interview with him. As you know, this is Rick's day off. Consequently, he's unable to be with us here today at the... Sorry, are we already happening? Can we do that again? Make that tape go backwards and then get ready to go. Rick is having a day off today. He's waiting in the hotel. Rick, if you're watching us, we'd be delighted that you would watch us. We're on Channel 4 in your hotel room because they have cable. If you're watching Channel 8, you'll have to turn to Channel 4 or you won't be able to see us. We went out to Grenfell and I met up with Rick, rode along beside him, a fascinating guy, and I had a chance to chat with Rick about his tour and ask him some of the questions which you people have written in to us. I think I've talked enough now, so this time we shall begin. Here's Rick Hansen and me on the highway. First of all, Rick, on behalf of all the Saskatchewan Switchback viewers, welcome to our province, and we hope things are going very well for you.
Thanks a lot. It's great to be here. We sure appreciate the nice weather we've been having. Thanks for making sure you arranged that.
Yeah, a little windy here today, but not too bad.
Nice and warm.
Rick, you may notice I have a chicken here on the bicycle. That's the star of our show here in Saskatchewan, and on behalf of the chicken, it's a real pleasure to meet you. We got a question from Roxanne, who lives in Gravelbourg, Saskatchewan. That's down the southern part of our province. She just wants to know a little bit about your hometown, your background, maybe your family, if you got brothers and sisters, things like that.
Sure, okay. Well, I was born in Port Alberni, British Columbia. I pretty well spent my whole life in the province of British Columbia. I lived 6 years in Port Alberni before I moved to the northern part of the province in Fort St. John for a couple of years. Then back down to Abbotsford, British Columbia for 6 years. And spent the rest of my years growing up in my hometown, which is Williams Lake, BC, right in the central part of the province. My family, my mom and my dad, I have 2 sisters and a brother. I'm the oldest in the family. My younger brother is 27 years old. I have a sister who's 24, and another sister who's 21.
Rick, have you had a chance since the tour started to get home for any visits, or have you been on the road the whole time?
No, I set out a principle when I left on the journey that the only way I was coming home was when I finished the tour and wheeled home. So I haven't had a chance to get home to visit family and friends like I'd like to. But I have been fortunate that my brother came out to visit me in Australia for 3 weeks and to work on the tour. And my sister as well came out in Toronto to visit me very, very quickly.
We have a question from Trina in Saskatoon and also Crystal in Moose Jaw, as well as many other people. Are just interested to know how old you were when you had your accident, and how was that for the first, let's say, year following the accident? Was that a pretty tough time for you?
Well, I was 15 years old and I just graduated from grade 10 when I had my accident. It was in the summer of 1973. I was hitchhiking home from a fishing trip with a friend of mine, Don Alder, who's on our crew right now. And we got a ride with a fellow who was driving a little bit too fast on some rough gravel road. The truck went out of control around the corner and it rolled over, threw me to the ground, broke my back and rolled over top and kept on going. And came to rest in a pile in a ditch. And it was very difficult for me, of course, because, you know, first of all, I was a young man, an athlete, was in very good shape, and next thing you know, when I broke my back, my legs turned to jelly, and I couldn't feel from any part of my leg, and it was really frightening for me. And there were a lot of times when I was in pain, and physically and emotionally, I felt angry, bitter, and depressed for a good year after my accident. But, you know, slowly and surely, with the help of my friends and family and with a good, positive, healthy attitude, I started to fight back and didn't let my setback affect the rest of my life. And I realized that what really counted in life was not what I couldn't do, but what I could do. And when I started to think more positively in that manner, I started to realize that there was still a real exciting world out there. I just had to learn about it and realize that life could still go on and I could still be happy.
Your tour has taken you all over the place. You've seen the Great Wall of China. You visited with the Pope. Jason up in Saskatoon's interested to know what country you found the most interesting.
Well, for me, the most interesting country was China. You know, I've heard a lot about the country, but and I've always wanted to visit the country. One of my personal objectives was one day to maybe wheel on the Great Wall of China. And of course, I had that opportunity to fulfill the dream when I went into the country of China. More importantly, though, we had a chance to meet some of the people and get a real feel for the country and some of its history. It was a fantastic experience. In some of the areas that we went through, there were some of the first foreigners that had ever been allowed into those regions.
Switchback returns with more of Rick Hansen, the man in motion, in 2 minutes.
Thank you. Welcome back, Saskatchewan.
Rick Hansen, if you're watching us, have a good sleep. And if you're not watching us, have a good sleep. We'll have some more of the interview I did with Rick out on the highway in a little while, but right now I want to remind you folks of some of the upcoming things on Switchback. In particular, March the 15th, when our entire crew goes on the road to Saskatoon. Now, here are the deals. We are going to be doing 2 shows in Saskatoon on March the 15th. Our normal show at 9 o'clock in the morning will be live for an hour and a half, and that'll be our air band special, plus lots of other things. And then Sunday afternoon, we're going to do another show and tape that one, and then that will be shown the following week. So for all you people in the Saskatoon area, the northern part of the province, wherever you're from, even if you're from Ogama, it doesn't matter. If you're interested in coming to watch Switchback, we'll be in Saskatoon March the 15th for 2 shows. And if you'd like to come, you're going to need tickets. And if you want to get tickets, here's what you need to do. You need to write to the CBC in Saskatoon and get your tickets. CBC Switchback Tickets. Here's the address, the 5th floor, Midtown Plaza in Saskatoon, S7K 1J5. Now, I'll leave that up for a little while so you can grab a pen and a paper, jot that down. If you need tickets, write to CBC Switchback Tickets, 5th floor, Midtown Plaza, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, S7K 1J5. Now, we'll leave that up there, and let me remind you, if you're interested in tickets, you need to tell us which show you would like to go to. So put in your request. You want 4 tickets, or you want 2 tickets, or whatever. Then tell us if it's for the morning show or the afternoon show. The tickets are free, but if you include a stamped, self-addressed envelope with your request, that way we'll put the tickets in that envelope and mail them back to you. Okay, so if you want tickets, that's the address. Tell us whether you want the morning show or the afternoon show. Tell us how many tickets you want and include a stamped, self-addressed envelope with your request. You got all that stuff? Okay, we'll be reminding you of that at future dates. There's also going to be, of course, auditions for the Air Band, and more details on all of these things on next week's show. This will just give you a head start. On next week's program, it's our Valentine's special. That means we'll be allowing you folks to send some Valentine's messages all across the province to your friends. Also, we have Ian Pike from the Dr. Paul Schwann Fitness Center, and Don Hepburn, who does butter sculpturing. I still want to see that. I do a lot of work in margarine, but butter, that's tough stuff to work with. All right, I think it's time now to get back out on the road and visit with our star performer, the man whom we have dedicated this show to, Rick Hansen, the man in motion. Here we are with part 2 of the interview with Rick out on the highway. Rick, you've stressed all along that it's so important for all people to try to reach their full potential. And of course, one of the biggest problems I guess we have right now in society all over the world is the long list of barriers which are in people's ways. Have you got any suggestions for our viewers of ways that they can try to break down some of the barriers?
Well, the first, relating specifically to physically challenged persons, the most important barrier that can often be the most limiting is attitudes. And I think if everyone has good, positive, and healthy attitudes about disabled persons and knows that it kind of affects all of us in one way or another, various degrees of severity. We all have our abilities and we all have our disabilities. So what really counts, though, is abilities that we do have, and people can focus on those abilities and work together to see how they can break down some of the physical barriers that stand in the way so that everyone will reach their full potential in life. And that's the biggest step that we can ever make. Some of the ways that we can eliminate physical barriers are, first of all, but trying to understand what it is that limits a disabled person from access to the community. I mean, the person's in a wheelchair, obviously. Stairs can be a major obstacle. And if we don't have ramps to allow a person to overcome the stairs, then it's very difficult for them to gain access to that building. We also have to realize that there are other types of disabilities that people have to encounter their own kind of barriers every day. If a person is visually impaired, often it's very, very difficult to read without the proper braille or assistance that they do need through tapes or special visual apparatuses. But hearing impaired persons do have their own barriers to overcome. We see things in the community that really can create problems. So all I can say is understand where the areas of need are, then go into the community and see what you can do to make a difference. I mean, a simple thing like even putting in an elevator in a building or a ramp or providing some equipment can really break down some of those barriers. But first of all, you've got to have the attitude and you've got to know what to do about it.
I've got a couple of questions here myself, Rick, that are interesting me. I'd like to know what's your favorite pizza topping?
Ham and pineapple. Double pineapple, double cheese.
What's your favorite kind of ice cream?
Strawberry.
How about music? Got some favorite tunes nowadays?
I love the Eagles. They're one of my favorite. And some of the new guys now, Glenn Fry and Don Henley. One of their best songs is Boys of Summer. But I also love David Foster and John Parr. Obviously the song St. Almost Fire Man in Motion, that's our song. It's the words say a lot. It's very powerful, and I think it tells people a really interesting story. Everything that John Parr and David Foster do, I just love it. And they're great people, and I'm really privileged to know those guys.
Well, Rick, we're going to hear those words one more time, and this time you're going to provide the pictures because we've got a special Man in Motion video, and we're going to see that right now.
Great.
Welcome back, Saskatchewan. Very happy to have with us this morning 4 members of the World Tour crew, the people behind the scenes that you may or may not see all that often. These are the people in the motorhome. These are the people that help and support Rick all along his journey. Now, Rick, if you're in the hotel, maybe you're awake by now, Channel 4, and we're waving at you now. And if you're still asleep, have a good sleep. And if you're watching Channel 8, turn the dial. Okay, here are the people we would like you to meet. We'll start here on my left, your right. This is Don Alder. Don has known Rick for, I guess, years and years. In fact, a boyhood friend, as they describe. And Don is basically responsible to maintain and fix and adjust and modify the various wheelchairs that Rick uses. You're also responsible for keeping track of the mileage, how far the tour has gone. Really briefly, give me a day in the life of Don Alder as it affects keeping the tour going. On a day when the tour is rolling down the road, what sorts of things do you do?
Well, first of all, about 5 o'clock in the morning, the rooster calls, and of course the last rooster ended up like this. But yeah, we get up, all of us, about 5 o'clock in the morning and start preparing for the day. And my specific area will be in getting the vehicles ready, ensuring that the chair is safe and ready to go, and then getting to our destination and either driving or cycling or taking a turn doing something like that.
Is it at the end of the day that you would record the mileage? How far?
Actually, what we do is we go for a segment of 12.5 miles or somewhere around there, and we'll log the mileage in each one of those breaks. So we keep track throughout the full day.
Right, 12.5 miles. Don, you've probably been gone so long you didn't know that our country is metric now. Yeah. Thanks a lot, but good try. Okay, now over here to the first guest on my right, who hopefully is Brian Rose, if I got this correct.
You have.
Brian Rose, welcome to Switchback. Your primary responsibility is, I understand it. Now, when I met you on Thursday, you were riding along with Rick, almost a bodyguard, but helping in the sense of the traffic flow and riding with him. You're also a person very involved with the winter clothing and the preparations that the harsh Canadian winters can put a person through. Did you design the clothing? Is that your expertise?
I worked with a group of people in Vancouver and helped design all of the winter clothing, and then came on tour before Christmas time and through now until probably near the end of February, just during the cold, long underwear weather, just to make sure that the clothing that we're using is working well and that he's wearing the right clothing during the right temperature times.
Okay. Fortunately, the weather's been remarkably good here in Saskatchewan.
The hex has been working, yes.
Yes, you people have been kind of secretly going, you know, when we get to Saskatchewan, it's going to be like 50 below. And really, slush is the problem, and what a wonderful problem to have. Well, we'll chat with you a little bit later. Next up, we have Nancy Thompson. Nancy is, I guess, sort of a tour organizer, the person on the crew, I guess, who's with the crew day by day. You go ahead and scout. You deal with a lot of the external pressures and contacts. What is a day in the life for Nancy Thompson?
Well, I get up with the crew and occasionally we'll cook the odd breakfast, so I help that way as well. I spend a lot of my day on the phone talking to our Vancouver office and talking to the provinces ahead and helping them coordinate their tour when we come through the province. I fill out the daily logs at the end of the day and keep all of our records for future use and assign duties to each of our crew members.
So you're the person that they always say, talk to Nancy, talk to Nancy.
That's right.
She'll
Work
deal
with the media.
Yeah, and I want to thank you very much for allowing us the access we have had. We're doing our best to be polite. It's got to be tough because everybody wants Rick to go to their event and their function. And we wanted him to have a day of rest, and so did you. Of course, we knew then we could wake you people up. So, that's too bad. Mike Reed, last and certainly not least, a lot of responsibilities on the tour. You joined, I think, partway through down in New Zealand, I believe.
December of 1985, yeah.
And after graduating from UBC, you decided, hey, I want to be a cook.
Why not, eh?
So you're the person that helps, as it says here, provide nutritionally sound meals. I guess that's pretty important for people to realize, because as you travel around the world, you can't just whip into any little spot and grab some food, because this is a very physically demanding thing for you people as well as for Rick. So if it's going to be nutritionally sound, don't say chicken. What sorts of things do you serve these people?
Mostly chicken.
Is that right?
Believe it or not, yeah. Rick's diet is very basic. It's about 60% carbohydrate, 30% protein, 10% fat. And what I give Rick is basically what I give the rest of the crew. We do eat a lot of chicken, a lot of fish, high protein meals, a lot of pasta, and hopefully things that are quite edible and quite easy to digest.
Okay. Are you like a cook or you've learned how to do this along the way?
I am by no means a cook, and I'm still learning how to do it.
Yeah, well, I've heard a lot of people say, it's lunchtime. Oh, yeah, Mike's cooking. So it's maybe not always a wonderful thing, but I know you're doing your best. We're going to be back in a couple of minutes. We're going to get up close and personal with Don Alder and take a look at the wheelchair. Brian will show us the suits here, and we'll take some phone calls from you people when we're back in a couple of minutes with our Man in Motion special. Welcome back, Saskatchewan. I have a riddle for you. What goes around and around and around 14 million times and ends up right where it started? Yeah, the wheels on Rick Hansen's wheelchair, they estimate will have gone around and around and around 14 million times by the time Rick and the tour gets back to Vancouver in a couple of months. And one of the people, I guess, primarily responsible with making sure those wheels go around and around and around instead of around and around and around is this gentleman, Don Alder. Now, Don, this is one of the chairs that Rick uses. Does he have other chairs?
Yeah, actually, up to this point, we went through about 10 different chairs. And this type and style of chair we finally got in Melbourne, Australia, which is about halfway through the trip. Presently, we have 3 chairs. This one being the winter version. It's wider to accommodate his bushier winter clothing. A summer chair, and then we also have a 4-wheel drive, which is operated by chains.
Okay, that would be a very complex thing.
Yeah, it's a different chair.
Now, just really quickly run through a couple of the basic things. This is called a push wheel.
Yeah.
And these things will change in size, and why is that?
Yeah, this is a push ring, and they come in different sizes. We have sizes all the way from 11.5 inches up to 20 inches. And basically, it's a type of a gearing sort of system. I guess the best example would be for like a bicycle, a 10-speed. The larger the push ring would be like gear number 1 on a bicycle, and the smaller the push ring would be very hard to push, but the faster you would propel yourself, like 10th gear.
So if you're going maybe on the flat and level and smooth, a little ring will generate a lot of speed. It's tough to do, but when you get rolling, it's good. Up a hill, you'd want a bigger push ring.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables involved, and it just depends on Rick's the state of his health at the time.
How many different wheels or tires have you gone through? A lot of equipment?
Yeah, well, up to present, we went through about 80 types of tires, and through the trip, we've actually have acquired 3 different types or 4 different types of sizes of wheels. Lots of different types of tires for different types of terrains, different profiles of tires. And the tire that Rick is really, I guess, happy with right now is one that's made in France. It's called the Wilbur Record Route. It's a very low-profile tire, but we have problems because it's very susceptible to getting flats and things like that. So we're constantly changing tires.
Okay. Maybe you could point out to some people that modifications are made every day and sometimes even during the day to adjust the wheel, to adjust where the chair sits, various things on the bike. That would be your responsibility in consultation with Rick and how he feels, and I guess Amanda, the physio, and things like that. Show us what you can do to move a wheel.
Sure. Well, what we do is we just remove the nut off the back of this axle.
You do this in a trailer in sort of a workbench setting, I think, that comes along with the tour.
Yeah. We just got that in Toronto. We used to do this all roadside. This wheel comes out of this plate. We call this a camber plate. It's got 15 different holes, so it allows for him to sit in 15 different positions. And the reason why we do this is because we discovered along the ways of the trip that if you stayed in one position too long, you'd start getting injuries. So by constantly moving him around, it really alleviates the problem.
So to relocate the wheel into one of those different holes will make just a little bit of a different angle of his body position, his shoulder, and that's how we try to alleviate the injuries from getting really chronic or serious.
That's right, and that would work in conjunction with the push ring size too.
Okay, this chair also has brakes, a steering mechanism, and a little device up here to keep track of the mileage or the kilometerage.
Yeah, kilometerage.
Is that the word?
Well, we still work in miles, but it can actually switch over to kilometers. But we started off in miles, so we just plan to finish that way. It's a little bit easier.
Okay, how many miles is it around the world?
Well, the distance that we've come up with is 24,901.55. But we're going to go over that mileage just so we have miles in the bank for in case we've lost miles here and there.
Because you've been lost a couple of times.
Yeah.
Okay, before I get lost right now, I want to thank you very much for showing us this, Don, and thank you people out there for sending in the hundreds and thousands of beautiful posters. As you know, we've had a poster contest going now for several weeks, and the poster contest will continue. As long as you keep sending them in, we will keep providing them for you folks. So, for those of you that may not be aware, it is a poster contest where you send us a poster as well as a stamped self-addressed envelope. In return, we'll send you a little piece of the Switchback desk as a souvenir. Each week we have 12 weekly winners, sometimes 13. And at the end of the contest, we'll have 10 grand prize winners. Let's take a look at our dozen winners for this week's contest right now. Okay, our first winner is Damon Goski up in Weyburn. Very nice one there. To the man in motion, Go Rick Go, Shannon Hale in Rollo. Carrie Lynn Sidorko in Momart. I don't know where those mountains came from, Carrie Lynn. Charity Mainland in Regina. Rick Hansen with the birds flying along. A very nice silhouette there from Tanya Eamon in Unity. Andy Vanderat in Regina. Keep going, Rick. Andy's only 5 years old. Nice poster, Andy. Melanie Pollock in Lumsden. Very nice drawing. There you can see the Man in Motion crew right in behind Rick in one of the motorhomes. Yes, they do have a rocket plant in Moose Jaw. Thanks very much, Crystal. Kirsten Fowler in Salvi. Go, Rick, go. Make your dreams come true. There's Jill Carnes in Regina with another Man in Motion poster. All 12 of these people will win our weekly prizes and go into the big draw to win the 10 grand prizes at the end. Adam Palmer in Bladworth is a nice one. Danny Anns, there's kind of a topographical view from high atop the Grenfell grain elevator, it looks like. Could be outside of Wolseley. They start to look the same after a while. I suppose after 22,000 miles, the road does have that look about it. So thanks to all you 12 people for sending in those posters. We appreciate it, and we will make sure that all of these posters get to Rick before he leaves our province, but keep sending them in. I want to point out just a couple more to you folks, because these things are just tremendous. Here's one that we got from Kirk Carrison. Can I get you to hold this for a second, close to my beak? Because I have to make this one work. If you watch this one here, that day will come, Rick, and as you can see, this poster moves. Rick, hopefully, someday, we'll get out of that chair, because with enough money for spinal cord research, we hope that wheelchairs someday will be unnecessary. So there's a really nice idea, and it's obvious that you people are picking up on the spirit of the poster contest. We still need some more posters, so if you, thank you very much, Don. If you have some posters or ideas for posters, jot them down and send them to us, okay? Here are the rules of the contest. Your poster needs to be 8.5 by 11 inches. We did that for you, Don. In metric, that would be 21.5 by 28 centimeters long. Remember to include a stamped, self-addressed envelope with all your entries so that we can send you a piece of the Switchback desk as a souvenir. Each week, there will be 12 weekly winners, unless, of course, we have 13 weekly winners, like we do some weeks. But this week was just 12. There will be 10 grand prize winners who will win autograph posters, color posters of Rick Hansen. He will sign those for us. I'm being confused. And send your stamped, self-addressed envelope with us, and we'll send back a piece of the Switchback desk. If you have posters, send them to us. Here is the address. It is the Man in Motion Poster Contest, care of CBC Television, 2440 Broad Street in Regina. And the postal code, we all know it, S4P 4A1. Yes, we all know it. Rick was so happy with those posters that he had this to say to you people for sending them in.
I just want to thank everybody from Saskatchewan who's taken a special time out to write to the show and construct these special posters and tell a lot about the spirit of the tour. It means a lot to me. I think they're really neat. So thanks very much.
Just so happy to be able to thank you people. If you guys out there have some questions for people on our tour, please give us a call right now, 347-9540. If you're calling in Regina, if you're calling long distance, 1-359-1076. All right, we have to cut a few more pieces out of the desk because you people have done such a good job with our poster contest. We'll take a few more pieces out of the desk right now. Okay, Jerry, I think that's good. Jerry Philby, our able-bodied staging person. As you can see, the pieces will eventually be about this size. We have hundreds of these things, so we'll be sending you your Switchback souvenir, your piece of the desk, a little bit later on. But we'll have to wait, of course, till the contest's over in case you win the grand prize, which incidentally includes an autographed poster from Rick, also includes one of the letters on our Switchback desk. Now, wouldn't that be lovely? Ooh, the 10 people will win either the S, the W, the I, or some of those other letters I can't spell. Are we ready for phone calls? I know I am. All right, let's grab a call here and see what people have to say. Good morning, welcome to Switchback.
Hi, my name is Ryan Bellamy, and I'd like to know how many more miles Rick has to go.
Okay, Ryan, Don will let you handle that one. How much further have we got to go?
He's just approaching 22,600, so there is about 2,400 left to go, approximately.
2,400 miles, that's about 4,000 kilometers.
Okay.
I know you were working on that right now. Okay, thanks, Ron. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Good morning, welcome to Switchback.
Hi, my name's Shannon Morrell, and I'm wondering what has been the worst weather that Rick cycled in?
The worst weather. I'll tell you what, I'll let you have a try that. Don's been on the tour, I guess, the longest, right from the start. I'll let you have a touch at that, maybe from one of the other countries, and then we'll turn it over.
Well, in non-winter conditions, I guess the toughest terrain for us was in Italy. There was a lot of strong headwinds and a lot of rain at that time, and it was pretty tough, a lot of uphills as well.
Rain's probably as bad as the cold, you know, due to traction and spraying and puddles and things like that.
Yeah.
A lot of pretty strange drivers around the world, too. We can maybe touch on that a little bit later on if your lawyer makes an appearance. Brian, speaking of cold weather, obviously Shannon's concerned about the cold temperatures and the effect it could have on Rick. Is there a point in time when it becomes too cold to wheel?
Well, he's like anyone else. I think if it's sort of in the area of minus 30 or lower and there's lots of wind, I think anybody knows what that's like for cold. We'd probably look pretty carefully at going outside when it's like that. But he's fairly comfortable in the clothing that we've got down to around the minus 30 area.
He looked fairly bundled up. I guess he's a little bit climatized. He's out there day after day.
Right.
For us office types, I got out there on Thursday and was dying, and it really wasn't all that cold. Thanks for calling.
Rick, I have one more thing. I have a comment for Rick if he's listening to the TV.
Okay.
Okay. Rick, I think you did a great job all the way to Regina, and I hope your arms aren't too sore.
Okay, thanks very much. If Rick didn't hear that, we'll certainly pass that along to him.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye-bye. Good morning, welcome to Switchback.
Yes, how many winters and summers has he gone through?
How many winters and summers? Heck, I could probably handle that one. But Mike, I'm going to let you try to figure that out because you're the most recent university graduate. Since March 21st, 1985, how many summers and winters has there been?
Well, he's been through, I guess, one winter. This is the second winter. Fortunately, when I joined the tour in December 1985, the winter that we were in was New Zealand and Australia, so it was a little tough to take.
Right, and interesting because there's winter and then there's winter. Because there's winter here, but if you're in New Zealand when we're having winter, that's their summer. And there, of course, winter would be our summer, and then if you're somewhere else, it could be different. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye. Good morning, welcome to Switchback.
My name's Trevor Parker. I'd like to know what's the fastest speed that Rick has ever gone.
The fastest speed Rick has ever gone. Well, I know as a racer, obviously Rick's gone very quick because he's a very accomplished athlete, been in a lot of marathons. What would be maybe the fastest he's gone down a hill when the brakes didn't work? Or more specifically, on a normal day, you guys have to follow in the motorhome. What is the speed of the tour?
Sure, well, the average speed that he does in the flash would be between 6 and 9 miles an hour. But, of course, we've encountered a lot of downhills, so he can get up to speeds in about 40 miles an hour in the chair. However, he doesn't want to do anything to jeopardize the project, so he keeps it at about 20 miles an hour.
You could get cruising along. It might be fun, but dangerous.
Yeah, tipsy.
I guess that's one of the things you can look forward to about the mountains. It's going to be a very tough part, but for every up, there's a down.
That's right.
And according to my calculations, there should be more downs than ups because we're at a higher altitude now than... we'll talk about that another day. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye. Good morning. Welcome to Switchback.
Hi, my name is Carly Brooks from Minton, Saskatchewan, and I'd like to know what time you go in at night.
What time you go in at night? Carly, interesting question. Incidentally, Rick is now engaged, so just lighten up a little bit on his social life. Yeah, what would be a normal day, Tammy? Maybe that's Nancy, sorry. That's one of your responsibilities, you know, because like you're hard on these people. It's like into bed, milk and cookies, what time?
Well, normally we'd finish wheeling about 7 at night, and he'd usually be in bed by 9:30 or 10. He has dinner and then does some physiotherapy and probably does a few media phone calls and then relaxes for about an hour before he goes to sleep. So it's pretty early night.
Okay, and is there much of a chance for movies or quiet time at all? It just doesn't really happen.
No, there really isn't. There just isn't that much time, especially on a wheeling day. There isn't, because you're up so early in the morning and you finish so late at night.
I hear that people that travel a lot, you know, salesmen or business people, wake up in the hotel and then wonder where they are. I mean, this tour has been on the road for so long, you've got to go, oh, it must be Summerberry. It must be Wolseley. Is this, you know, I mean, is this Swift Current? There's obviously a lot of places that all start to look the same after a while. How do you keep the intensity or the interest up when you just see sort of pavement day after day?
I think the people make all the difference, and people everywhere are a little bit different in what they say. So that keeps the interest up, and people are so excited wherever we go. It's like day one for us every day.
I certainly, that was probably the thing that impressed me the most. Aside from Rick, was probably the most sort of driven, intense person I've ever seen. You could just feel it when you get close to the guy. He just, you know, like brick walls are not going to slow him down. He's going to get there. But there's a whole feeling amongst the tour members that people are very committed, very up, and I think you need that strength probably to help one another through some of the times that maybe aren't that good. Thanks for calling.
All right, bye.
Okay, bye-bye. When I chatted with Rick, he mentioned that he really enjoys the Eagles. He enjoys, I'm clicking my pen, I'm sorry. He really enjoys Glenn Fry and Don Henley, especially the Boys of Summer. Well, Rick, I looked and looked and looked and looked, and well, we couldn't find the Boys of Summer, but we did find Glenn Fry. And we'll have that video plus some more chats with your friends here, and all of our friends, I guess, in 2 minutes and 12 seconds from right now. Welcome back, Saskatchewan, to our Man in Motion special. And hey, have you heard the news? Gary Proudlove is 40 years old today. Let's hear it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Okay, that's it. That's it. We don't have enough time. Happy birthday, Gary. Oh, you don't look a day over, what, 56. There he is. Happy 40th, Gary. Nice hair, too. Look at that. Looks like one of those original G.I. Joe dolls. Anyway, we're back with the Man in Motion special, and I'd like to ask Nancy right off the bat. Nancy, it's a rest day today, but you'll be leaving Regina bright and early in the morning. What's tomorrow look like, and what are the tentative plans really quickly for the rest of the journey?
Well, tomorrow we're going to be traveling through Saskatoon South. Saskatoon has moved their city south, and they're going to meet us around Belle Plaine. That's going to be exciting, probably one of the most exciting things that has happened in Canada. We're really looking forward to that. And after that, we're going to be traveling to Moose Jaw. I'm spending tomorrow night in Moose Jaw. Then traveling towards Swift Current. We'll be in Swift Current on Wednesday night, and we're doing a public rally on Thursday. And then we'll be crossing the Alberta border on February 15th, and into Calgary on February 22nd, and Edmonton on March 2nd. So we're moving along.
Things are going according to plan. What's the estimated time of arrival back in Vancouver?
We don't have one. Because of the weather and Rick's health, it's just unpredictable, both. So we haven't really set a schedule at all. We set a 3-day schedule, and that's it. But we should be back sometime in late April, early May, we're hoping, if everything goes well.
Okay, May 12th is my birthday. It means nothing as far as the tour. I just thought, I know you want to send me a card, so now you know.
Of course.
As far as I'm concerned, with Mike's cooking, and you're organizing, and Brian keeping them warm and comfy, and and Don working on chairs, should be no problem. Incidentally, the crew got together, put together some money for the tour there. It's just a small bit of what we got together this morning. Our donut money is all in there, so make sure that goes to a worthy cause. I think you know the cause I'm talking about.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good morning. Welcome to our Man in Motion special. Have you got a question for us?
Thank you. Hi. I'm wondering, when is Rick's birthday?
Does anybody know Rick's birthday?
Yes, it's August 26th.
August 26th.
Yeah.
We should try to make note of that and maybe send him some birthday cards. It's going to be interesting when the tour is done. It's going to be a major impact on your lives, because you people have been very committed to this thing, 24 hours a day. I don't know what that is metrically, but, very committed. Dawn's been with the tour from day one. You've been back in Vancouver doing some work?
I've been with them off and on for a year now.
And how about yourself, Nancy?
I've been with it since the beginning as well.
So this is a major, long, drawn-out thing. Of course, it took Mike a little longer having to finish school, 7 years to finish that degree. But good job, Mike. Thanks for calling. Good morning. Welcome to Switchback.
I wanted to know, how much money did Rick make so far?
What's the total tally? Anybody got an
Well,
idea?
tomorrow they're hoping that we'll reach $6 million.
That's amazing. It keeps rumbling along.
It
It's
does.
slowly and steadily. I think it's very interesting to note. I have some posters here somewhere. There they are.
That's it.
Yeah, here's an interesting poster we got from Tim Owens, who made a province of Saskatchewan map and filled in the province with a $5 bill. So there are a lot of ways that people can contribute. Some people have sent in 10 little pennies. It all helps. Whatever you people can do is worthwhile. I would recommend you not send the $5 to me. Please take all your donations to the Royal Bank. That's easier for me and easier for the tour people. That's all the time we have for calls. Thank you guys very, very much for waking up early in the morning on your rest day, I guess. Enjoy Regina and the warm weather. Best of luck on the rest of the tour. Rick mentioned that he likes Glen Fry, so we dug him up. The old ex-Eagle is still going strong. This is from his Miami Vice days, I guess. So this is Glen Fry, and You Belong in the City. We'll look at it right here. We brought this guy in at major expense. It costs $40 just to show this video. It costs a lot more to get it. Welcome back, Saskatchewan. Just finishing up our Man in Motion special. We have a contest question for you, folks. It'll be easy if you were listening and paying attention. It'll be difficult if you don't know the answer. We would like you folks to tell us Rick Hansen's hometown. What is Rick Hansen's hometown? 3 times. What is Rick Hansen's hometown? Write that down and send it to us. Here's our address, which has always been our address and always will be our address. Switchback, care of CBC Television, 2440 Broad Street in Regina. And the postal code is S4P4A1. Members of the tour are going, why does everyone yell the postal code? Well, it's because we're nice to letter carriers around here. They have to carry those letters a long time and a long distance. On next week's show, we're going to have a whole bunch of things. It's our Valentine's special. It'll be a day late, but not $1 short. So you'll have a chance to send your Valentine's messages. We're also going to visit with Ian Pike from the Dr. Paul Schwann Fitness Center. You guys were out there yesterday. Some of you may have been at the university, fitness testing. Anyway, Ian will be along, as well as Don Hepburn. You know him, you love him. He does butter sculpturing, as well as In the Know, 3 great videos. It's going to be a super show. I want to thank everybody here from the Man in Motion Tour. Thanks for coming. You folks from the Saskatchewan School of Performing Arts. And who could forget Big Chief Ogama? How? I don't know how. But we'll see you guys next week. Rick, have a good rest. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
This is CBC Television.